Welcome to the second video of the LCD-2 closeback review process. I've had these headphones for probably 2 to 3 months. I've enjoyed them over that course period, but I think the best way to review these headphones is to give them a fair comparison, which means using the upload date of the unboxing as day 1 and continuing on 30 days from there until I finish the review process. So that's what we're going to do. The way that I'm going to do this review is based upon a subscriber's suggestion, which is just go to Audeze's website and look at their marketing material and see whether it holds water. If what they claim on their website is actually what I hear on the headphones. That's a very good way of at least starting the review. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut this up into several videos. I'm going to concentrate on the bass today. The following video is going to be in the midtones, the middle frequencies, and then the third video is going to be on the higher frequencies, the treble. Because I think that's the best way, so I can actually concentrate and listen to those particular frequencies and give you my impressions about it. And then finally give you a roundup about what the total response is, how I feel about the headphones as a whole, both in technical terms, the best way I can describe it, and also on the emotional level, which is what is called a very personal experience. Now, before I get to that, before we start, I have to tell you that I've upgraded my amplifier setup. I still have the JDS Labs, I still have all my other stuff, but I was able to get a balanced headphone amplifier and a balanced DAC. I have been waiting a very, very long time to get this, and I finally got it. This is the Audio GD NFB 1 amp. It's fantastic. One of the major features about this, two actually. One, the first one is that it's balanced output, so balanced XLR and balanced quarter inch. Then, number two, the power. This thing can drive any headphone. At 25 ohms, it puts out 9.9 watts, 9,900 milliwatts is what this puts out in 25 ohms. You know what's 25 ohms? The AudioQuest Nighthawk is 25 ohms. And it would get 9.9 watts of power. If I were to max out the Nighthawk using this amplifier and full blast, the drivers would explode. At 40 ohms, or consider 32 ohms basically, 8 watts. 100 ohms, 3.5 watts. 300 ohms, 1.2 watts. There are very few headphone amplifiers on the market, affordable amplifiers on the market, that can give you this amount of power. And the thing that really clinches it for me is the 600 ohm response power output. At 600 ohms, this amplifier will give 600 milliwatts. Most headphone amplifiers won't give you 600 milliwatts at 32 ohms, let alone 600 milliwatts at 600 ohms. That's powerful. So I've waited a long time, got it, love it. In order to get the balanced output experience, however, you also need a balanced DAC. So that's why I purchased the SMSL SU-8. Really just rolls off the tongue, right? I mean, definitely a name you'll remember. The SU-8 is a balanced DAC. It's connected to my computer via USB. Then using balanced XLR, okay, that's important. Using balanced XLR, it is connected to the 1 amp. And then connected to my headphone. Now, what's the difference between balanced and unbalanced? Well, basically, it's a slightly cleaner experience on the headphone. That's number one. You get less noise, less distortion with the balanced setup. So not just balanced headphone cable, but also balanced amplifier and balanced DAC. You have to have all three in order to fully enjoy the balanced experience. Now, just having a balanced amplifier and not having a balanced input is not going to help you a whole lot. So having the DAC and the amp balanced is what you want. Having a balanced cable for your headphone is also necessary, but you can still enjoy the balanced experience on another level, which is balanced output tends to give slightly higher volume output. And if you don't have a balanced cable, you might still be able to enjoy the slightly higher volume output. We'll see if that's the case. Regardless, I have this set up. It's working perfectly. This is an incredible machine, and the SMSL is working flawlessly. So this is the setup I'm going to be using now. This is the setup I'm going to be using in the future, unless I say otherwise. So let's just get on with it. Let's get to the review. So today we're going to talk about the bass, right? So let's go to Kodo. Kodo, as you know, is Japanese drums. This is a band that specializes in Japanese, Asian, Oriental, can I say Oriental? Drums. It's a whole band. It's more than one person. It's multiple individuals using various types of drums, and they make amazing music. One of the difficult things about headphones is reproducing these drums all at once. So if you have a pair of headphones and you put them through this test, what tends to happen with headphones that don't reproduce tight bass and separate bass response, separation of instruments, is that the instruments will start bleeding together and you will not be able to tell the difference between each drum, which is what you should be able to do because there is a difference. The 1770s, for example, don't work well with this setup, with this song. Let's see if the LCD-2 closed can. So we have gotten the headphone connected to the 1 amp. It's at 18 volume. It says 118, but don't worry about that. It's 18 volume. It's slightly over whisper. And I'm going to start with Lion from Kodo. I'm going to increase the volume. At the volume at 140, which drowns out all of their noise around me. Very precise, very, very precise. I hear a second set of drums with the first set. There's soundstage left and right, and the second set of drums is actually more to the right ear cup and further back. Now, third set of drums. They have a very rumbly bass response. And there's still separation of instruments. Now all the drums are coming in. I hear at least 2 drums, plus the cymbals and whatever else they're playing. Here's the third drum. This is the deeper drum. Left and right separation is fantastic. All the drum hits are precise, are very, very tight. It doesn't feel loosey-goosey at all. As far as reverberation goes, there's very little reverberation on this song. In the ear cups, obviously. And it's 3 drums now, and vocals. Everything is so well separated. The vocals are not overwhelmed by the bass. Clear difference between the vocals. There are 1, 2, 3 vocalists, all at different frequencies, all well separated, while the drums are playing in the background, and none of that is bleeding in. Drums in the background, vocalists in the center, all instruments and vocalists together, all separated very well. Okay, so the last few seconds, I'm going to go back to, about 3 minutes, 42 seconds. There are a couple of precise drum hits at the end, and then nothing, just silence. And I want to talk about those precise drum hits. I'm going to play, and I'm going to tell you what I hear. They are precise, they are tight, they hit with significance, but they don't drown each other out. So there's a set of drum hits, then another set of drum hits, and another set of drum hits. They're far enough apart to know that there's 3 distinctive set of drum hits, but they're close enough so that poorer quality headphones would bleed them together. Does that make sense? So with headphones that are, probably not planar magnetic, headphones that are cheaply made, cheap drivers, cheap padding, cheap everything, okay? The last 3 drum hits would likely tend to bleed into each other, and so you would probably not be able to tell the difference that there's one set of hits, then another, and then another. There's 3 different set of hits. But these headphones, the LCD-2 closed, do in fact provide that feedback. That's just outstanding. Lion by Kodo has not been reproduced as well by any other headphone to date during my channel existence, the existence of my channel. There are other headphones that I have that would do just as good a job, maybe slightly better. TH900 comes to mind. That would do better. But that's a much more expensive headphone. And for this pair of headphones to be able to do what this thing does with this song is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Excellent bass reproduction. What about the warmth, you say? Is it coloring the bass? Yes, slightly. Okay, so the NFB1 amp is a neutral amp. It's very, very neutral, which means that it itself is not adding anything. The SMSL DAG is also very neutral. It's not adding anything. Do the headphones add some sort of warmth to the tone? It does. There is a slight bump in the warmth, meaning that there's a clinical response to bass. Like the 1770s will give you a clinical response when they can actually produce good bass. And these things, there's a little bit more reverberation in the drum hits. That's not to say that the ear cups reverberate constantly. That's not what I mean. But the drums themselves have a slightly longer lingering after the drum has been played. The sound is a little more bumped up in the lower frequency, so you hear a little bit more of the bass, and the higher frequencies are slightly more suppressed. So you get that kind of warmish, an emphasis in the mid-tone, the emphasis is on the bass. So you kind of, that's the way that the song leans. Does that make any sense? It's kind of hard to explain with words. You have to actually listen to it. All right. So Lion, fantastic. Let's go to another one. Let's go to my test playlist. And let's do Mountains. And as you know, if you've watched any of my previous videos, Mountains is one of my staple songs. I mean, it's number 1 on my test playlist. One of my staple songs because there's a huge build up to this. And then in the just before the halfway point, there's the crescendo. And in really, really fun headphones, you'll get the ear cups to shake, which like the Denon D2000s. Incredibly fun to listen to this song in those headphones. Not precise at all, but fun. So let's do it with this. I'm just going to play the whole song. It's a long song, but I'm going to play it at 3 minutes 40 seconds. But you got to sit here and listen to me, and I'll tell you what I hear. I am also going to bump up the volume because at 140, which I is loud. And so, okay, so here's the thing. When I say 140, that's just what the amp is reading. It's not 140%. That's not what it is. We will all just get used to it eventually. It goes down to as low as 100, and so now it's at 40, so 40%. I think it goes down to 100. Let me check. Yes. Okay, so 100, it starts at 0, but there's still volume coming out of it, which is strange. So 140 is 40% volume. Okay, let's just keep it at that. I don't think it goes up to 200, but that's what we're just going to say at this point. All right, mountains. Here we go. There's this buzz in the background that's part of this song. It's not even a buzz. It's like static, like old TV static. When the broadcast used to end, there was static on the screen. The song starts with that. It's so slight in the background. I hear this kind of a horn thing in the background, a ticking of some sort. Some sort of string instrument. A bass hit. I'm going to increase the volume to 150. Now all the instruments are building up. The crescendo is just about to hit. Clear separation left and right. And in the background, there's a slight musical instrument in the background, all the way in the back of the air cup. Now the music is getting louder. Here comes the crescendo. Oh, that is fun. It is precise, well accentuated, clear separation of all the instruments playing. There's a slight reverberation. There's a slight reverberation in the ear cups when the organ really playing. No sibilance, no piercing treble. It's just a really soothing, well, it's not soothing, it's a very comforting experience. The organ is just very precise. Now the vocalists are in. There's a good separation between the vocalists and the organ. In some other headphones, what happens is that the organ and the vocalist near the last 30 seconds of the song bleed into each other. And it kind of gets real messy, and the organ really starts falling apart. With these headphones, with the LCD-2s, there's nothing that falls apart. It maintains the instrument vocal separation throughout. I'm going to go back and try again. Clear, it's this fun reverberation. Not like the D2000, but still fun. Yeah, that was really nice. So I had the amp up to 150, and somewhere in when the song started building up, I couldn't hear myself talk, and so I had to bring it back down to 135. This is just amazing, just amazing. Let's go to Angel by Massive Attack, the bassiest song I have, and one that can really induce a headache because it's so bassy. Start at 135 on the amp, and here we go. Now you hear that little rumble that starts in the background, and it starts from the way back of the headphone, and then it kind of moves forward until it's just about midway into the headphones. That kind of makes sense? Like middle of the stage. So it shows up somewhere in the back of the stage, and then slowly comes up to about center stage. And then all the other instruments come in from left and right. The drum hit is good, precise. I don't hear any distortion. So there's a lot of bass going on in this song. And so the vocal just came in. Very even. There's no sibilance, no treble. Smooth. And it's still separated from all that bass that's going on. There's a huge amount of bass instruments going on. And I could still hear the vocals very clearly. There's just kind of a guitar thing, and then the drum comes in on the middle of the stage. The drum just came in. So there's nothing grainy at all. I've heard this song on other headphones, and it gets really grainy and weird. No distortion at all. So when the vocalist starts saying, love you, love you, love you, love you, there are multiple drums that come in, then the guitar comes in. Clear separation amongst all the instruments. And none of them bled into the vocalist saying, love you, love you, love you. Very clean bass. Okay, so I'm going to stop it there. 3 minutes 19. Still have half the song left. I'm not going to play 6 minutes of this song. But ultimately what has happened is that I've had 3 minutes to listen to this, and once again the same story. There's clear separation amongst everything. Everything. And this is from Spotify. Now, I've said this before, it's fine. Spotify is fine if you're not a super geek audiophile and you just want to listen to your music and enjoy it. Spotify's okay. And it sounds really good. these headphones really make it sound good. I know this song, I know these songs, and I know they all sound good off of Spotify. On other headphones, it's like, this song doesn't sound so good, that song doesn't sound so good. But so far, the LCD-2 Classic on Angel, which will give most headphones a run for their money, a lot of trouble, in other words. The LCD-2 close simply just do. There's no distortion. There's clear separation. The bass is tight and precise. The vocals are well controlled and smooth, which is what planar magnetics are supposed to produce, and these headphones produce it. In other headphones, for example, the 1770s, I remember there being some graininess to it. Even in the Sandy Avas, I haven't done a test on this, but I know that on the Sandy Avas, the Avas produce Angel differently. It's clean, but it's not as pleasurable. This was a very nice experience listening to the song on these headphones. Now, listening to the song on something else like the Monoprice Retro would give me a headache, because the Retro with the pad change just bumps that lower bass frequency tremendously. The LCD-2 with their giant ear pads, ginormous ear pads, keep everything controlled. It sounds great. 2 more songs. Let's go to Dreamer. And I've said this twice before, several times before, that the vocalist in Dreamer can get really irritating because of the treble. She is not a particularly good singer, at least not for this song. Let's see how these headphones compare. Volume is 135 on the 1M. Everything is clear so far. There's some electronic mojo and some bass going on in the background. Good separation. Good soundstage left and right. So when the singer comes in, she's almost ear piercing, just below ear piercing for me, but not grainy. And when she's singing, there's a bass instrument in the background that just emphasizing some of her words. Her vocals are clearly separated from the bass, from the electronic nonsense that's going on in this song. There are 2 other supporting vocalists, so there's 3 total. I can hear them. They're on the left and on the right. The one on the left is quieter than the one on the right supporting vocalist. I dare say that this song is actually listenable on this pair of headphones. Clean. All I can say is clean. This song is just clean. Now, this part of the song gets very close again to sibilant and ear piercing, but it's just controlled. And there's that really deep bass in the background that's regularly hitting, but does not bleed into her vocals at all. Okay, that's all I can take of this song. I hate this song so much because of her voice. And, ugh. Anyway, the LCD-2s did a very good job. They do a very, very good job controlling T-Pain's voice here. This is what T-Pain sounds like if he was a woman. All the time. But it's just under my limit, treble limit. The bass is very well defined. It is extremely well detailed for this song, by the way. So the bass in this song is not detailed at all. Okay, this is not orchestral bass. This is not Mountains bass. This is not even Angel bass, which is all electronic funky stuff. Excuse me. But the bass in Dreamer is it's more for emphasis than it is in Angel. And Angel, that is just the song, which is just all bass. In Dreamer, it's just for emphasis when the vocalists are singing, and they don't bleed in to the rest of the frequencies. Well done. I still can't listen to the whole song because it's an irritating song. Last one, drum solo by Jack Bruce, Simon Phillips. Now, at the very beginning of the song, when I press play, this is live recorded. So what happens is there's audience that's clapping and screaming and yelling, and it blows my eardrums every time. I have the amp at 135, so I'll let you know if it blows my eardrums. Here we go. Nope, it didn't. I was bracing myself, but it didn't. Clear left and right. Very precise hits. I'm going to increase the volume to about 145. Oh, wow. It's like I am 5 feet away from the drums. Oh. It's like I just put my head right next to the stage. That is amazing. Drum hits are precise and emotional, and there's a lot of impact to the drums. There's a slight, very slight reverberation inside the ear cups that's not distorting any part of this song. Clear separation amongst all the drums on his drum set, and the cymbals and the hi-hat. Okay, fantastic. That was very, very, very good. Very good. The drum hits were precise, were emphatic, were resounding. And by resounding, I mean it's at the right volume. It was almost like I said, putting my head up against the stage, and just like you would, like if you did that in real life, you're right next to the stage, and this guy was playing the drums. Your eardrums would be like, stop, make it stop, please. This is too much. When I had these headphones on at 145 on the amp, it was just about to that level. We're like, oh my God, that's too close to the stage. That's how good the bass reproduction is on this song. That was very, very good. I know I said this was the last, but I would like to try Take 5 from the Dave Brubeck Quartet. There's think it's a horn instrument. There's a wind instrument of some sort, and then there's some drums. So let's see how this goes. It starts off so buttery smooth. The piano is on the left of the ear cup. The cymbals are both sides. And there's that wind instrument, very clean, very precise. The drum is playing in the background, and it's quiet, but it's not bleeding into anything, and it's just really nice to listen to. Oh, I could listen to the song all day. All right, so I got to stop this. I have an idea. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to test this on something a little fun for me. I'm going to go to the Born Supremacy soundtrack. 0 followers for this. That's insane. And I'm going to do Bim Bam Smash, which is, if you ever saw the movie, if you've ever seen the movie, and I know how to speak English, if you've ever seen the movie, Bim Bam Smash is a song that plays in the Moscow car chase scene, which is the best car chase scene of all time. All time, hands down. And you have to watch that movie, and when that scene comes on, you should crank up your speakers to as high as you dare, and you sit back and you just enjoy it. Because this song with that action is incredible. So now let's see if I can recreate that in my mind by playing just the song on these headphones. Volume is at 140. Here we go. Whew. When that bass drum comes in immediately, there's a bit of reverberation. So the drums really support this song. I mean, there's a substance to the drums. Now there's other instruments in the middle of the stage. The drums are still in the far back of the stage. No sibilants, no treble. I mean, there's treble, but not ear piercing. There's a guitar that started on the left. Volume increasing to 145. When the drum comes in for emphasis, there's a slight reverberation. The drum does not. So the drums are playing. There's 2 sets of drums. There's a deeper set of drums that comes in for emphasis. And then there's just this hard-hitting drum that just came in. And I'll tell you when. I'm going to go back. Okay, so I'm going to start at 59 seconds, and I'll tell you when that really, really amazing drum hit just comes in, like smashes you right in the chest. Here we go. Now, oh, I could almost feel that in my chest. There's fun reverberation in the ear cups. Not a whole lot, just enough. Clear separation of instruments. So at this part of the song in the movie, the good guy and the bad guy have seen each other from each other's cars, and they're doing circles around each other. Jason Bourne is trying to get away. The bad guy's chasing after him. There's a bus in between them. Obviously, the way that these songs are being played on my headphone, I can imagine the movie right now. And more of the drums are coming in now, because now it's a crescendo. This is where the good guy and the bad guy are now fighting with their cars. And just in a few seconds, there's going to be a big drum hit. And this is going to emphasize the denouement that's about to come. So there's 1, 2, 3 separate drum instruments, very clearly separated, plus the cymbals and guitar and some other stuff that's playing, and it's all separated. I don't know what it is, but it's clearly separate. Yep. So multiple drums layered right about 3 minutes 30 seconds, and they're all separate. Nothing bleeds into anything else. Okay, so I brought the volume back down to 115. And at a quieter volume, there is still separation. It doesn't sound as fun, obviously. It doesn't sound as fun. It's not as detailed in the lower volume than it is in the higher volume. Okay. I don't need to finish the last 30 seconds of the song, but wow. That was a lot of fun. On these pair of headphones, that was fun. The bass was tight, was precise, was well separated, but yet still kind of neutral. You know, I said that there's a warmth to these headphones, and that's just a natural reproduction that these headphones have. But that warmth, that little bump in the bass frequencies and the kind of the suppression of the treble doesn't distort the song. It's very, very pleasant to listen to. I could watch this movie on these headphones and I would be happy. Amazing, amazing. So do I have anything negative to say about the bass test? No, absolutely not. These are fantastic for bass. Dear God, I have found a pair of headphones that actually works great for bass. Reasonable price. The TH900 works great for bass too, but that's a crazy price. I'm talking about, this is amazing. This is amazing. After listening to the DT1770s for weeks and weeks and weeks and crying every time I have to pick them up, finally, this is a nice relief. I'm listening to a pair of headphones that actually sound fantastic. How about that, huh? Bass. If you want clean, almost neutral bass, this is a great pair of headphones. Just amazing. This is fun. All of the songs, even Dreamer, all of the songs, amazing. That's all I can say. Now, you're going to say, hey man, you didn't use the JDS Labs Element DAC, which is what you've been using for. Yes, I know that. I don't care. My channel, my DAC, I don't care. I got the NFB. That's what I'm going to use. But fear not. If you're worried about the 1770s not being given a fair shake, don't worry. I'm not done with them yet. I'll use the remainder of the test on the NFB with the 1770s. But Regardless, doesn't matter. Their bass sucks. The bass on the LCD-2 closed, phenomenal. Clean, precise, and still a little bit of fun. If you're looking for a reference class headphone and you want good bass reproduction, closed back, and just a hint of fun, because that's what Audeze's kind of signature sound is. It's, that they say that it's reference class neutral. It's a little bit more of a bump on the middle, a little bit more of a bump on the bass. It's a little warmer, and the highs are a little suppressed. And some people really like that. Actually, a lot of people like that because that's how we listen to things. Most people cannot sit down and listen to trebly headphones for 20 minutes at a time. There are audiophiles who can. And there are other people who enjoy the higher frequencies more than the lower frequencies. That's fine. But if you're not that type, this is a great set of cans for the bass reproduction. Great. I have nothing negative to say about that on this test. Nothing. Now, as we go through the rest of the test, things will probably pop up, but as of right now, fantastic. And 45 minutes, these headphones are still comfortable on my head. I had these headphones on before I started this recording. I was watching some videos, listening to some stuff, trying out this new application that I have for audio testing, which I'll show you, Music Scope, which will analyze music files, FLAC and all that I have. That'll help me understand what's going on with the song and better help explain the reproduction in the headphones. But that's, I'm still learning this. I just got this. So I was trying it out with this, and total time I've had these headphones on, bottom line, it's about an hour and a half, and still comfortable. Still comfortable. Clamping force is just right. The ear pads are nice and thick and comfy. The weight is well distributed. And unless you have some sort of spinal or neck injury, or you're just very sensitive to weighted headphones, you should be fine. As far as sound isolation, you be the judge. I've been sitting, anywhere between a foot to 6 inches away from the microphone this entire time. You decide whether you heard anything or not. I haven't taken the headphones off this entire time. Okay? So hopefully this has been of some help. We will continue the review of the LCD-2s in the next several days. The 1770s are still in their review process. We're almost done with the 1770s. It will be up for sale. And if anybody wants to buy the 1770s that I have for me, let me know. I will sell them to you. And until next time, have a fantastic night. I am so happy that tonight I can end this episode on a bright note. A good set of headphones. Hey! Have a good night, everyone.